Hi guys! I wanted to show you guys today a little bit the behind the scene or the behind the process of designing each pattern of mine. I'm getting ready to release a new pattern, or design a new pattern I should say. It's going to be a Valentine's Day pattern, and I'm gonna do first a little sketch and then try to knit up the pattern, see if it looks good enough to write it up, and see how you guys like it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with cleaning the yarn studio. For those of you who don't know, I have an online yarn shop, and all this yarn that you can see is from Malabrigo. I came across Malabrigo several years ago, and I completely fell in love with this company and their product. Malabrigo is a family-owned yarn company located in Uruguay and Peru, and they make the softest hand-dyed yarn in the most amazing colors. 100% of their yarn comes from Uruguayan farms, and the sheep are completely free-range, wandering the hills of Uruguay, herded by shepherds. Most of their yarn is merino wool, and there is just something so magical about working with Malabrigo. And I think I should mention here that this video is not sponsored by them. I simply just love their product. I sell yarn on my website and on Etsy. I'll link both of them below in case you're interested in checking them out. Okay, so I haven't finished all my orders yet, but I do want to stop now to have a little bit of time for designing before I have to run to the post office and then school pickup. After school pickup, usually the house gets really loud, and then it's hard to get any designing, anything like that done. So I like to do it while they're still at school. So first with my designs, I usually try to do a little sketch first. Sometimes I just design a single beanie, but a lot of times lately I design a whole collection. So after creating a sketch, I usually go into my Pages document and just start playing around with a chart, see what it would look like on a beanie. After my chart is done, which I might still do some changes to it, but after the chart is done, it's time to pick some colors. I'm gonna use Malabrigo Rios, which is a worsted weight yarn. And since it's kind of a Valentine's Day pattern, I'm thinking of reds and pinks. I like this red. I love this new color from their Zodiac collection. This one is also a really pretty color. This darker, deeper red might work. Maybe I'll do some white for the base of the beanie. And this one looked kind of cool for the mushroom too. So just start playing around with colors, start looking at some ideas. While I'm stitching away, I wanted to talk about duplicate stitch knitting a little bit. It's also known as Swiss darning, and it's a technique used to add color to knitted fabric. There are other type of color work knitting techniques like stranded color work, which I also love, and I have a couple of videos about that, or intarsia, and perhaps I should make a video about the key difference between these three techniques. But in summary, duplicate stitch knitting is a post-knitting technique, which means the designs are added on top of the fabric using a tapestry needle and contrasting yarn. Intarsia and Fair Isle, on the other hand, involve incorporating multiple colors of yarn into the fabric as it's being knit. And there are different methods for managing color changes and tension. To make a duplicate stitch, you just follow the path of an existing knit stitch on your fabric, essentially duplicating it with a contrasting yarn. I think it's very easy to learn and an easy way for beginners to experiment with color work without the complexity of traditional stranded knitting techniques. My few tips if you are just starting out duplicate stitch knitting would be is to choose yarn that matches your knitted fabric as close in both weight and texture as possible. This will help you create a more seamless look. And always start to work a pattern or a little design from the bottom and work upwards. It doesn't matter if you are working from left to right or right to left, but it has to be from bottom up. This will also help with the tension. And then the last tip would be to maintain consistent tension. Make sure your stitches are not too loose nor too tight. Try to match the gauge of the knitted fabric as closely as possible. Work slowly and practice a lot. Okay, so after the beanie is all knitted and done, I usually grab some photos and then post on Instagram to just kind of get some feedback, see how you guys like it before I write up the pattern. I write up the pattern in pages, which first part in the pattern is always like just about needed materials, gauge, abbreviation, size, just basic information about the pattern, about the beanie. These duplicate stitch designs, they usually have two parts. The first part is to how to knit the beanie, which starts with the brim. This one is a folded brim, you can see, but it can be a folded brim or a single brim. I like to give instructions how to do both, so you can decide which one you like. And then step 2 is how to embroider the duplicate stitch design on the beanie. And that usually is a chart. After that, all you have to do is block your project, and you can add a pom-pom or a tag if you would like. Okay, so this pattern is now live on my website and Etsy and Ravelry. I can link it below in case you want to check it out. And also you can find all the yarn I used in my shop. Okay, if you have any questions about this, please just leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.